Breaking news has just shaken Tuscaloosa, and nobody saw it coming. Paul Finebaum made this statement about our head coach. A highly respected journalist shouldn't have said something like this. What he said won't help Alabama at all. For the first time since 2008, Alabama enters a season as an underdog within its own conference. And the reasons go far beyond a simple set of statistics. The team has no confirmed starting quarterback. Nick Saban himself has publicly said that Alabama is flying under the radar, and Kalen DeBoer's response has already divided opinions before the season even begins. Before we continue, if you're part of the Crimson Tide family and want to stay up to date with every Alabama update, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any important news about our team. Now, let's get to the story. With only a few weeks remaining before the start of the 2026 season, the SEC Media preseason poll placed Alabama in a tie for 5th place in the conference, while Texas was selected as the favorite to win the SEC title. For anyone who has followed this program for years, that alone is a major surprise. Since Nick Saban's second season as head coach in 2008, Alabama has never received such a modest preseason projection. Interestingly, last season Alabama also wasn't picked as the favorite. The team was projected to finish 3rd in the SEC, yet it still competed for the top spot in the conference and reached the SEC championship game before losing to Georgia. In other words, recent history shows that media projections and actual results don't always match, and that's exactly what's fueling the debate among Alabama fans. As Kalen DeBoer enters his 3rd year as head coach, Alabama still hasn't named a starting quarterback, one of the most important and heavily scrutinized positions in college football. While several conference rivals appear to have settled that position, Alabama's uncertainty has directly affected how analysts and oddsmakers view the team's chances in 2026. Adding to the concern, ESPN's statistical rankings recently listed Alabama's schedule among the 15 toughest in the nation, meaning there will be very little room for mistakes during the regular season. Amid all this uncertainty, Nick Saban, the coach who won 6 national championships at Alabama, broke his silence. In recent comments, he said he believes Alabama is entering the season largely overlooked in the national championship conversation. The statement surprised many fans, especially because it came from the greatest figure in the program's history. A few days later, during SEC Media Days, Kalen DeBoer was asked directly about Saban's remarks. His response also drew attention. DeBoer said the only way to silence critics is to prove themselves on the field, avoiding championship promises before the season begins and instead focusing on improving the team every day. The fan reaction was immediate, and, as always with Alabama football, deeply divided. Some supporters viewed Saban's comments as a reminder that the team needs humility and hard work instead of overconfidence. Others interpreted the remarks as a subtle challenge, or even silent criticism, from the legendary coach toward his successor, who is still trying to maintain the program's championship standard. On social media, Alabama-related hashtags quickly began trending again, with fans comparing the current situation to previous seasons when the Crimson Tide was underestimated but responded by dominating its opponents. The national sports media also joined the discussion. Several columnists argued that the combination of an unsettled quarterback situation, a demanding schedule, and unusually low preseason expectations creates a rare scenario. Either Alabama experiences a difficult rebuilding year, or it produces the kind of comeback story that ends with a conference championship, or even another national title. Now, beyond all the controversy, it's worth taking a closer look. What follows is opinion rather than fact. There are strong arguments on both sides. Historically, underestimating Alabama has often been a costly mistake. The program's winning culture has repeatedly exceeded preseason expectations, and a motivated Kalen DeBoer, responding to comments like Saban's, could use that as emotional fuel for the team. On the other hand, the uncertainty at quarterback is a genuine football concern, not merely an outside perception. Facing one of the nation's toughest schedules without a settled starter at the game's most important position is a significant risk that could have serious consequences early in the season. In my view, Alabama enters the 2026 season as a relative underdog within the SEC, and the outcome of this season could reshape how both the college football world and the media evaluate Kalen DeBoer's tenure. It could either establish him as the right coach to rebuild Alabama's dynasty or significantly increase the pressure surrounding one of the most prestigious jobs in college football. If Alabama once again combines low outside expectations with its championship tradition, as it has done several times in the past, we may be witnessing the beginning of another unforgettable underdog story. But if the quarterback uncertainty proves too costly against such a demanding schedule, this season could become an even greater test of the fans' patience and of DeBoer's long-term future as head coach. The coming weeks before the opener, and especially the first few games of the season, will begin to reveal which path Alabama is about to take. What do you think, Alabama fans? Do you agree or disagree with this perspective? Leave your thoughts in the comments.